Imagine the moment. You wake up in the morning, grab your phone, open your notifications, and see a message from your electricity provider. But instead of another astronomical bill, there is only a single line. Your balance is infinite. Energy is free starting today, forever. No utility bills, no receipts from gas stations, no gas meters, oil, coal, and nuclear power plants in their usual form. All of this has become history overnight. Is this the beginning of a golden era for humanity? Or a direct path to an apocalypse that will destroy our planet faster than global warming? Before we dive into this crazy world where light costs cheaper than air, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. Here we break down the boldest scenarios of the future, and your like under this video guarantees that your own battery will never run out. Subscribed? Then let's head into the world of free electricity. To understand exactly how the world could get an infinite resource, let's first answer the question: where can free energy actually come from? Scientists and futurologists are already highlighting several potential sources that seem like pure science fiction, but are based on fundamental physics. The first candidate is controlled nuclear fusion using helium-3. This is the energy of the stars, harnessed in a reactor on Earth. If we learn to mine helium-3 on the moon or synthesize it in laboratories, a few tons of this substance could power a megacity for a whole year with zero radioactive waste. The second option is zero-point energy or the quantum vacuum. Physics tells us that even empty space is empty only at first glance. At the quantum level, the vacuum boils with fluctuations. If we create a device capable of pumping out this microscopic energy directly from space-time, we will get a generator that doesn't need any fuel. This is the absolute ultimate source. The third resource is the Dyson Sphere and wireless energy transmission. Imagine millions of solar sails surrounding the sun, capturing 100% of its radiation and transmitting it to Earth using microwave or laser beams. The sun shines for free. We just need to learn how to harvest this colossal flow. The fourth source is antimatter. Annihilating just 1 gram of matter, and antimatter releases as much energy as a powerful nuclear bomb explosion. But in a peaceful application, this source could power entire continents. Now imagine that one of these sources became available to everyone. What would happen to our civilization? Day 1. The collapse of the old empires. Thanks to a new discovery, a compact quantum or fusion generator the size of a PC tower is capable of outputting megawatts of power. This technology becomes open source. It's impossible to hide or classify. In the first 24 hours, stock markets suffer the most terrifying blow in history. Shares of oil giants, gas monopolies, coal mining companies, and ICE automaker stocks crash to zero. Currencies of countries whose economies relied on energy exports turn into worthless paper. Trillions of dollars evaporate from accounts in a matter of hours. Oil sheikhs and energy tycoons lose their fortunes, and stock exchanges close due to panic. But for ordinary people, euphoria begins. Nobody pays for utilities anymore. Refueling a car becomes free. After all, electric vehicles now charge from a wireless grid or feature built-in perpetual power cells. Prices for goods start dropping rapidly, because in the cost of any item, from a loaf of bread to a smartphone, logistics and energy accounted for up to 70% of the cost. Month 1. Technological explosion and overcoming hunger. Thanks to free energy, humanity instantly solves several long-standing global issues. First, fresh water. Desalination of ocean water previously required colossal energy inputs. Now, giant desalination plants work at full capacity around the globe. The Sahara, Atacama, and Arabian deserts are planted with forests and agricultural crops. Water is piped over thousands of kilometers without any environmental or financial restrictions. Second, hunger. Vertical farms and skyscrapers with artificial lighting operate 24/7. Vegetables, fruits, and grains are grown in any climate, even at the North Pole. The cost of food drops close to zero. Third, ecology. At first glance, all thermal and nuclear power plants shut down. CO2 emissions into the atmosphere drop by 80%. Air in megacities becomes crystal clear. Internal combustion engine cars are sent to landfills or recycling, as electric traction is now completely free. Artificial intelligence gains unprecedented computing power. Data centers are no longer constrained by power grid limits or cooling capacity. Mining, complex drug modeling, quantum computing, everything jumps a century ahead in just a few months. Year 1. The dark side of free paradise. It would seem that utopia has arrived, but this is precisely where humanity hits the first fundamental law of physics that cannot be bypassed, the second law of thermodynamics. Any energy we use for lighting, movement, computing, or heating eventually turns into heat. When energy was expensive, we conserved it. Now that it's free, its consumption grows exponentially. People start building giant crypto mining setups, synthesizing materials out of thin air, cooling entire cities with outdoor air conditioners, launching private maglev trains, and constantly illuminating the night side of the planet. As a result, Earth's temperature begins to rise not because of the greenhouse effect, but due to direct thermal pollution. The planet simply cannot radiate into space the vast amount of excess heat generated by billions of new devices. Local overheating of atmospheric layers begins. Besides physical problems, economic chaos emerges. Millions of people working in energy, oil extraction, auto repair, and coal mining lose their jobs. Unemployment hits a record high. An economic system built on resource scarcity starts cracking at the seams. If energy is free, how do you value labor? How do you control production? A new kind of crime appears. Since energy is now unlimited, building high-powered lasers, electromagnetic cannons, or home synthesizers for dangerous substances becomes accessible to any amateur in a garage. Weapons that previously required the defense budget of a mid-sized nation can now be assembled by an enthusiast. Decade 1. A new world order or a cosmic leap. Humanity realizes the only way to avoid burning down our own planet from excess heat is to move energy production and consumption beyond Earth. A colossal space expansion begins. Since fuel costs nothing and power units can feed plasma and ion engines continuously, a journey to Mars now takes days instead of 7 months. Giant space shipyards are built in orbit. The moon transforms into humanity's industrial center. Asteroids rich in platinum, gold, and rare earth metals are towed to Earth and mined in open space. Material scarcity disappears completely. Thanks to 3D printing and molecular synthesis technologies powered by infinite energy, any object can be created from dust and raw materials. The concept of poverty is erased from the world map. However, a philosophical crisis arises. When a human being no longer needs to work for survival, when any material good is available in a single click, society loses its traditional bearings. Part of humanity plunges into virtual reality, where infinite computing power creates worlds indistinguishable from reality. The other part chooses the path of space explorers. Free energy is not just a convenience, it is the ultimate test of our species' maturity. It can turn Earth into a blooming paradise and spread humanity across the entire Milky Way. Or it can burn us in the flames of our own greed and thermal collapse. Which scenario seems more realistic to you? Will we be able to hold such power in our hands, or will we destroy ourselves in the very first years? Be sure to write your thoughts in the comments below, like this video, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. and see you in the future.